Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to the live. I see a few of you are already here. Hello, Kim. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Amanda. If you're here, make sure to say hey in the chat so I can say hello to you. I love that we're already talking about what we're working on. Shannon, you're working on Edward from Twilight. That is epic. I am very excited. I'm going to move this a little bit closer here. I am very excited because we are starting a new project tonight. I've got this teeny little bit of scrap that I'm going to use up first, and then I have more cakes. But we are going to be starting on Michael's very, very belated Christmas present, which is going to be this hanging hat organizer. I just purchased this pattern on Etsy a couple days ago, and I've been inspired by a lot of the macrame versions of this type of piece that I've seen, and I went looking for a crochet version of this, and this was my favorite version that I found online. So I got this on Etsy. I'm trying to remember the name of it's Savvy's Stitches Store, I think is what it's called. But let me say hi to a few more people here. Hello, hello, friends. Oh my goodness. I feel like there's a lot of usernames that I'm gonna mispronounce. Is it Sadie? Hi, hello. Billy Joe, hello. Taz Devil Creations, hi. Working on Peeps bunnies. Oh, cute. Cute for Easter. Kylie, wish I was crocheting, but I'm actually cleaning my fridge. Oh my gosh, I did that last week and it was amazing. You're gonna feel so great afterward. Almost midnight in Belgium. Whew. Well, you get extra points for being here for a little bit. Shade. Got it. Thinking about putting some glitter on him. Shannon, I think I speak for all of us when I say we want to see that. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started on this hat organizer. We'll see how much progress, goodness, words are hard. We'll see how much progress we can make tonight. I was going to start this before I went live, just in case there was any like weird bits, but I was reading through the pattern and it seems pretty straightforward, so we're just going to go ahead and get started on it. Are we snowed in? We are not snowed in. We did have a few flakes coming down, which I was like, come on, man. But mostly it's just been, the wind has just been crazy and nonstop. And I'm really ready for the wind to be done. Okay, so we are going to start off by chaining 44. So please hold as I count real quick. Okay, so there's our starting chain here. So this is basically going to be the width of it, which is great because it's like just a little bit wider than a baseball hat, which is what we're going for. Oh, Taz Devil Creations, thanks for dropping that in there. The UP is supposed to be getting like 4 feet of snow, but yeah, all the way down here, not really. The wind has been so disrespectful. That is the exact right word for it. Just straight up disrespectful. Oh, goodness. Okay, now we are going to double crochet into the third chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. And that chain 2 is counting as a double crochet, which is interesting because I usually would think you would want a chain 3 if you're going to count it as a double crochet, but you know, we'll go with the pattern as written. We'll see what happens here. Chain 1, skip a stitch, and then double crochet the next 3. Okay. I got it now. Making a top-down knit sweater with Katia Fair Cotton Infinity 3.5mm hook. First project after learning to knit through the Passionate Kelsey Chunky Beanie. Okay, wow. That's an impressive leap from a beanie to a sweater. Go you. I still have not succumbed to the siren song of knitting. I do think if I ever decide to try my hand at knitting, it's mostly going to be to knit my own socks. Because I don't know why that specific article of clothing just seems like something I would enjoy. I don't know. Oh, perfect. So, I mean, it seems like a good pattern. I will keep you updated. Obviously, like, I'm going to be updating in my vlog and stuff of how this project goes. So, you will get to see how mine turns out. Here's what we're looking like so far. There's so many cool knit sock patterns out there that I'm like, maybe I'll just learn to knit just for the socks. If you haven't said in the chat already what you're working on, you may not be crocheting at the moment, but maybe you've got a WIP going just in general. Like, even if you're not crocheting at this very minute, if you have a project that you're working on in general right now, I'd love to hear what kind of stuff you guys are up to. I always love to steal a little bit of inspiration from you and hear what you're working on. Oh, Amy. So you are in the UP, correct, Amy? So you really did get the snow. We literally had some like little snowflakes, but nothing that accumulated. A blankie from the little toaster. OMG. So, Billy Joe and anybody else who maybe recently joined, what we are working on tonight is we're starting on a project for Michael. This is the hanging hat organizer. I'm making this for our bedroom. We can hang it on the wall, and he has lots of baseball hats, and he never remembers like what he has because they're all just in a little basket. So I feel like if they're hanging and on display individually, that he might remember more, because he's very much like an out of sight, out of mind person. He's like a little baby who has no object permanence. So I think this will help him remember like what hats he even has to wear. So I'm just starting with this little tiny cake because I have multiple cakes of this color, and I just wanted to use this up real quick, and then we'll move over to this one. Welcome everybody who's just jumping in. Snow is up to the top of all our doors. That's ridiculous, Amy. Today, working on a baby blanket, I had to frog the border and about 6 rows. I saw a mistake and couldn't leave it be. I've been there before, my friends. Amanda's working on a baby blanket. Yeah, I've had a pattern like this saved on my Pinterest board for years. And I didn't even realize until I finally was like, okay, I'm ready to make this. When I went to look for it, that it was macrame. It wasn't even crochet. So then I had to go looking for a crochet version, and this pattern was the one that I liked best. So here we are. It could be a great scrap buster for sure, because you just kind of, you know, you could absolutely just tie on new yarn whenever you want. Or she does mention in the pattern, if you wanted it to be like a striped situation, I think she recommended every 2 rows to change colors. Also trying to find a couple of pretty top patterns to use. That yarn I got on Friday. Ooh, yeah, Kim. Working on yet another cardigan, also a year-long WIP, which is a Granny Starburst hexagon blanket. That sounds beautiful. We were out of school, librarian here, for potential tornadoes. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as predicted. Though the weather has just been weathering. Like Shade said, disrespectful. The wind has been disrespectful. Kylie's making 2 full-size blankets and a little Easter dress for my baby. One of the blankets is a temp blanket, so I have all year to get that done. Yes. A WIP we can spend a year on and not feel bad about it. I learned to knit specifically for hand knit socks. I made a couple pairs, but they are a bit wonky. Recently picked up knitting again to make a few beanies. I need to try to go back to socks again. Yeah, I imagine that probably the first couple pairs would be a little wonky, like you said. Working on a blanket to donate to local hospice house. Oh, that's lovely. Just starting another pair of knit socks. You guys, talk me out of it. Don't talk me into it. Talk me out of it. I have enough things to do. Snowed here in high winds in Iowa. It was 94 here yesterday, and it will be down into the 20s tonight. That is dramatic. The weather in the UK has bipolar. Yeah, I think weather in general is just crazy. Pretty much everywhere, it seems, except for maybe a couple places. Okay, sorry, I'm reading all the comments and I've just been sitting here not actually crocheting. But it's a great problem to have. I love chatting with you guys. Do it, I dare you. Stop it! Okay, what are we doing now? So we're chaining 2, which counts as a double crochet. Oh, that's right. We're basically just repeating the same look. Okay. Got it. I thought about using a kind of self-striping yarn for this. I was looking at some of my, like, I have some Karen cakes that are stripy that would color-wise go really nicely with the colors in our bedroom. But I just felt like all the hats are going to be all different colors and stuff, and I just didn't want it to look busy. I felt like if the hats are already going to have different colors and patterns and things on them, that it would probably look neater to just have a neutral color that's kind of a blank canvas for the hats to sit on, you know? So that's what I decided to go with. A nice little neutral cream color. And I have lots of neutral cream colored yarns, so I figured this would be a good kind of stash busting project to use up some of the yarn that I have a lot of in one color, you know? If you do it, Jess, I will join you. What, of learning to knit socks? I don't know if you guys can hear in the background at all, I do have my laser going. I have a large custom order that I need to make some good progress on, so we are going to keep the laser running while we're hanging out tonight. Oops. We're a few weeks into Michael's new work schedule, where on Mondays only, he works from 12:30 to 9 p.m. So I didn't get the laser started until this afternoon, really. And as a result, it will basically be running until 9 p.m. tonight. All right. Do you make custom tags for like hats and crochet items? I sure do. I sure do. And I actually will show you the custom order I'm working on right now. I haven't cleaned it yet, so it's got a little bit of haze on it. But in general, it's super cute. If any of you follow Belinda, Magical Unicorn Crochet on TikTok, this order is for her. And I have a lot of these to make, so we're just running them. My website, which is obviously, you can see it right on the screen. If you are interested in getting something like that for yourself, you can go to my website and see all the different options and things that I offer, because I have all kinds of fun stuff on my website. I think you should learn to knit socks. They are relatively quick, actually. Warning, they can be addictive. I have a drawer full and keep making more. See, and that's exactly why I don't want to start it, because I'm nervous that I'll become addicted. Okay. We are on to row 3. So it does say if you're doing a color change, start with a new color here. But we are not doing a color change. We're doing one solid color. Come on. All right, give me just a second to read this pattern. This is what we're looking like so far, by the way. Give me a second to read the pattern and see what I'm doing here. All the way down there. Whew. So this is kind of the... I'll get it to focus here. This is kind of the like look we're creating here. Working down into the previous. It's kind of cool looking. Okay, I think I got it now. All the way down. And then this one. Got it. Got it. Okay. Do you think you could do my logo? It's my profile pic, and I've had people say it can't be done. It's very, very tiny on my computer screen. If you can email it to me... my email address is the same as my website, bergsnestcrochet@gmail.com. If you can email it to me at that email, I can take a closer look at it. And even if we can't maybe do it exactly as it is, we could probably figure out how to make it work. Either something really close, or if we just need to make a few adjustments. Usually we can make it work somehow. I gotta get my next batch started here. Cool beans. I think what's been making me kind of a little more tempted than usual to pick up knitting for socks is I've just been watching a lot of knitting vlogs and knitting content on YouTube. Either people who do both crochet and knit, or people who mostly knit. And I've just been enjoying, sometimes it's nice to switch it up, you know? So I've been enjoying watching several people who knit on YouTube. And I think it's making me want to get into it a little bit. What kind of tools are needed to attach the folded leather tags? I've been wanting to order some from you, but was gifted a small amount for Christmas, but I'm clueless as to how to attach them. So, the ones that were gifted to you are not tags from me, correct? You don't need any special tools for the ones that I send. I include rivets, and they just snap on. You can use a rivet tool if you want to attach it permanently. But the rivets do just snap on, which I think is nice because you can take the tag off if you would like to. Like, you can remove it and put it back on. You can also, if you prefer not to use the rivet, you can also basically sew it on if you'd like. So obviously I can't speak to how other people do their tags with, like, because some, different people will include potentially different hardware or no hardware at all. I just include the rivets that you can just snap on. I will grab some rivets in a second, and I'll show you how simple it is. Okay, this is looking pretty cool. I know it's probably a little hard to see the texture of it, but I think it'll continue to kind of show as it builds. Yeah, the ones that the company that Passionate Kelsey buys from, I think they're called Chicago screws. They're just little screws, and you literally screw them in with a screwdriver. I don't use that kind. I use the snap rivets. Scared of knitting because it seems so hard to fix mistakes. I feel the same way. It is intimidating. That part of it is definitely intimidating. I'm so thrilled that I finally caught one of your lives. Yay! I'm so glad that you're here. Let's see. So now we chain one, skip, and double crochet into the last, which is the chain 2 that counts as a double crochet. Okay. Cool beans. Here we are after 3 rows. Looking pretty good. So comes with the 2 pieces. And like I said, if you have a rivet tool where you basically like hammer it in, you could do that. But it is not necessary. So you just feed it through. Obviously on your crochet piece. And then this little post piece goes on, and then it just I don't know if you heard that satisfying little snap, but that's all. And it can come apart, but it's not, you kind of have to pry at it to get it to come apart. Which I think is nice because especially if you're putting it on a clothing piece where somebody's maybe putting it in, you know, running it through the wash, they can leave it on, but if they'd like to take it off, they can, and that makes it easy to reattach. Okay, continuing on after a sip of coffee. I do both knitting and crocheting. I can't say I like one more than the other. They are both so relaxing. I think since I learned to crochet first and I've been crocheting for so long, I think it will always be my first love. But I could see myself enjoying knitting in the future potentially. Okay, row 4. Chain 3, skip a stitch, double crochet into next 3, okay, so we're just repeating that part again. Okay, got it. Oh, good, Amy. I'm glad that we unlocked that for you. Got your Springberg box a couple days ago. I absolutely love this one. I won't spoil what's in it on here, but I think it's my favorite so far. You know what? I'm glad. First of all, yay. I'm so happy. Secondly, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's definitely make it a spoiler-free zone here tonight in the live for the Springberg box because I know that there are some here who have not gotten theirs yet. So within the next couple lives, we'll be free to discuss the items, but I think we're still in that zone of making sure not to spoil it for everyone else. So I appreciate your discretion, and it's good to put that out there and say yes. Don't talk about the specifics yet, but I'm so glad that you love it. Have mine, but I want to video the opening, so I'm holding on. Sent you the pic. Thanks for your help. Okay, great. I will take a look at that as soon as I am able to. Yeah, if you guys ever have a question about a custom order, if there's something that you want engraved and you're just not sure if it would turn out nicely, or if you're not sure if I could do something specifically, always feel free to send me a message. Email is usually the best because it's a guarantee that I'm going to see it. And it won't get lost in a social media platform DM or something. Because sometimes those DMs can get a little tricky to keep track of. But email, I will always be sure to see. See how quickly we can use up this little tiny cake. Okay, so somebody on my live, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but somebody had recommended that I should watch The Way Home Hallmark series. I don't know if that person is in the live right now, but I started watching it. And I'm not going to lie, it's actually really good for a Hallmark show. And I've pretty much watched all of it, and now I'm making Michael watch it with me too. Have you been able to finish the sweater for your niece? I sure did. I think it's going to end up being this week's vlog is showing that piece finally being finished. I just gave it to her, and I also gave my sister her cardigan yesterday, and it was very satisfying to finally hand them off. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this thing now. Oh, hello! Yes, you are here. Yes, I have been enjoying it. I wanted Michael to start watching it with me because I figured he would enjoy it. And it's funny because he didn't want to at first, and I was like, listen, we do this every time. You always think you don't want to watch a show, and then once you watch a few episodes, you end up really loving it. So I know you're going to like this show. Just watch it with me. And we finally started watching it last night together from the beginning. And we watched the first 2 episodes, I think. And and it was, I just meant, like, do you want to watch another episode tonight? Because it was starting to get late. I was like, hey, do you want to watch another episode? And he was like, are you going to make fun of me if I say yes? Like, no, that's what I wanted. I wanted you to want to watch it. Kim, I think he liked it. I wasn't expecting like a huge, exciting reaction, but I think he thought it was cool. Oh, what were you watching it on before? I've been watching it on Hallmark's streaming service. And now there's a season 4 coming in April. That's why I told Michael he's got to start watching it with me now so that when season 4 comes out, we can watch it together. Have you guys been watching any shows lately that you've been really enjoying? I am enjoying this pattern so far, guys. It's fun. It feels like it flows rather nicely. Okay, so I have to make sure I don't like cover up this chain here. Because this is a chain 1, chain 2. Okay. That looks right. Okay, here's where we're at so far. Oh, that looks really nice. That looks really nice and neat. My corners are a little bit rounded. Like I could see how that might benefit from blocking at the end, but overall, it looks pretty, you know, it's not all wonky and weird. Virgin River. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, there's a new season of Virgin River coming out soon. Is it out already? Or does it come out really soon? I'm actually really excited. I actually really like that show. It's so cheesy, but I like it. When Calls a Heart. Love When Calls a Heart. He is a boy of few words, Kim. Well, actually, he's not. It just depends. It depends on the mood you catch him in. Yes. Jolyn, yes. My partner did a very similar thing. As soon as he would watch a good chunk, he would have so many questions and need caught up in what he missed, but didn't want to watch it. Amy, with The Way Home, there's 3 seasons out right now, and there's a 4th season coming in April. Up to season 3 was on Netflix a few weeks ago. I know Netflix likes to take off the good stuff. They really do. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. I think I was watching it on Peacock. I may just have to give in and add the Hallmark Channel to my plethora of streaming platforms. Isn't it ridiculous? It's like we all decided to cut the cable, and then they were like, well, now you have to pay $5.99 to get every channel, and now you're basically just paying for cable again. Resident Alien, but haven't gotten to watch for several days because of no internet in our house. Okay, Michael and I started watching that show. We've only watched a few episodes, and it is both funny and, like, a little bit too much for me at times. There's a new series from When Calls a Heart. Yeah, I'm really interested in that, Amy. Like, I watched the trailer for it, and I was a little bit confused. So it's supposed to be like the generations before everything happened in When Calls the Heart, the show? Is that what it's supposed to be? Like the generations before that? It seems interesting. At the moment, we are watching The Rookie and High Potential. It's out now. I'm on episode 3. Well, Amy, my show entertainment for the rest of the week is sorted. Okay. What row am I on? Row 6. Oop, not that one. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm actually really excited. I've been doing a lot of projects with double crochets lately. I mean, obviously it's a pretty basic core stitch, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of projects that use a lot of double crochets. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I think I've watched now that I'm watching The Way Home, I think I have probably watched just about every Hallmark series that there is, at least on their streaming platform. So if they're going to release a new one, I'm going to watch it. I keep thinking, like, okay, I'm going to cancel Hallmark soon. Because usually I only have the Hallmark streaming service around Christmas time so I can watch the Christmas movies. But then every time I think I'm going to cancel either a new movie that I want to watch or they come out with a new season of a series or something. So they have kept me on the hook for a while now. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not alone in that. So guys, we have been actually doing a good job using up some cakes on our yarn wall. There are still lots of cakes on the yarn wall, but I used up a cake over the weekend, and that will be in a vlog coming sometime soon. And then this cake right here, I know it was small. It was practically a scrap cake, but that's another one that was on the wall and will no longer be. And then I imagine that we'll end up using most of this for the rest of this project. Because the other thing is, I think I'm going to make mine longer than the picture. I want it to be able to hold quite a few hats, and he's got a lot of them. And in the picture, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't know if 5 is enough. I might want to make it enough to hold at least a couple more than that. I mean, I don't want it to be like comically insanely long, but I think I would like it to be longer than for 5 hats. Planning on making a baby blanket like your green ombre blanket for a new great grandbaby coming in May. I'm just waiting for the yarn to get here. Aw, well, congrats on a new great grandbaby, and that sounds like a really fun project. Repeat rows 3 through 6 until it is your desired length. 3 through 6. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Rows 4 through 6 are here, and 3 is on the other page. So until I remember exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to have to keep flipping back the page for this one row. All right, place your guesses now. How many more rows do I have before I run out of this cake? Will we get through one more row? 2, 3. Chain 3, skip 1, double, long double. Okay. Just wanted to double check I was doing that right. Okay, Amy says 3, maybe. Jolyn says 2.5. Amy says at least 2. Kim says 2. And I'm staying out of it because I'm not good at guessing these things. So, this morning, Michael and I continued with our new little schedule of getting to sleep in on Mondays since he doesn't start work until 12:30. And we went to a new place that we checked out. One of my friends recommended it to me, and we went and checked it out this morning. It's a little like coffee shop pastry place called Paris Baguette. And oh my word, you guys, I took lots of clips for the vlog because I did bring my crochet with me this morning as well. So you will see it, but it is the most gorgeous place. And they have just like display after display of the most gorgeous croissants, tarts, danishes, muffins, like everything. And you just basically take a tray and a pair of tongs and you go around and you grab whatever it is that you want. And then you go up to the register and you pay for your items. And then we also, of course, got some coffees too. And it was delightful. Delightful, I tell you. I got a cream cheese Danish, so basically a cheese Danish. And I also got a... Oh, I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was basically a cronut, but I don't think they can call it that because I think that place in New York or wherever makes them, like, trademarked it. So it's a croissant donut. Like, it's croissant texture and dough and everything, but it's in the shape of a donut. And it was a coffee croissant donut. So it had a coffee custard inside and then a coffee icing on top. And it was like a sugared croissant donut. Ugh, it was so good. It was so good. And Michael got a croissant that was filled with Nutella. And he also got an apple pie. I don't know what it was. A tart, a Danish, something like that. And it was delectable, and I'm very excited to go back there. Okay, well, we've made it through one row. It's looking pretty sad. Let's see how much further we get. There's something so fun about doing a project that you just haven't ever made before, you know? Like, obviously I've never done this pattern before, but I've also never made a hat organizer before. Like, it's such a specific thing, such a specific item, you know? It's not like, oh, I'm making another blanket or another hat or whatever. Like, this is a completely unique category of thing that I've never made. Well, we're definitely going to have enough to finish our second row. And I will not be surprised if we run out about the halfway point of the next, which anyone who gets 2.5 would be correct if that happens. And I do feel like that seems to be where we're going to end up. I don't know what song that is, but I'm skipping that one. So this week is this is a very full week for me. I have like 4 kind of main things on my list that I need to do this week, and then everything else is a bonus. The first thing is custom orders. That's always on the list, but I have some like particularly large custom orders, one of which is on the laser right now. So custom orders have to get finished. I also need to edit my vlog for this week, which I know is gonna take some time, as it usually does. So that's something I need to get done. I need to work on tax prep. There is so much stuff. If you guys are small business owners, or you ever have been, you know how much more stressful tax season is. With all the fun stuff that goes into that. And I also need to record and edit basically like my ad campaign for BurgBox Quarterly for this season. I was going to record that today, but between the wind making a bunch of howling noises and stuff, and it was so dark and gloomy outside, the natural light was just not it. I decided to wait until tomorrow and hope that it will be better tomorrow, because it was just not a great day for recording something that I want to be really clean and nice looking. So we shall try again tomorrow. But if I can get those 4 things done this week, that will be a success. Hey, whoever guessed 3, we're actually totally going to get to the end of this 3rd row. The weather has been insane. Also, hi, Rhea. It's so hard not to completely cover these chains that you have to work into. I'm usually the one who guesses on the high side. It was a cautious 3. Well, it was a correct 3. I'm going to go ahead and tie on my new yarn now while I still have plenty of space, but we did it. And we're even going to get a few more stitches into row 4. And now we have a nice, lovely new cake. This is all scraggly at the end here. Goodness. Had a thunderstorm yesterday that turned into snow. Basically 2 inches of ice under 2 inches of snow. Yard was all green an hour ago, and now it's completely white. No green grass in sight. I don't think... Has it been snowing? It's snowing. It's snowing right now. I can see snowflakes. I don't think it's really been accumulating, but maybe it is, and I just haven't looked outside to see the ground recently enough. Oh yeah, Rhea, I bet that like totally throws you off. That's funny. This is looking really pretty. I really like this. Oh, I should be vlogging this. I'm gonna go get my camera so I can take some clips while we're live. Yeah, it's definitely snowing outside. It's it hasn't really started, like the grass is still green. Or it's not green, but you know, you can still see the grass. But I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't stay that way, because there's quite a bit coming down. I also brought my blanket to show you, because I feel like I've made quite a bit of progress since the last time I showed you guys. For sure on a live. Looky there. Huzzah. Here it is on the main camera. I can't even fit it all in there. But I'm not going to zoom in. I won't mess with it. Anyway, it's pretty good. It's coming along nicely. And it makes my brain so happy that I have that and this. And those are the only projects I have going right now. Okay. That's funny, Rhea. Okay, what row am I on? Okay. Cool beans. Can't even see. Got my vlog camera set up here. Can't even see what I'm doing. I had to adjust. Okay. Time is at 7:30. We're an hour in to this live. We will stay live for another hour, so we'll go until 8:30. I think that's probably going to be the typical schedule for us for these weekly lives. We'll probably do 2 hours, 6:30 to 8:30. Gives me enough time to eat some food before I go live. And it also gives me a half hour to kind of wrap everything up afterward before Michael is off of work for his evening shift. And then we can hang out a little bit before it's time to go to bed. Excuse me. Sorry. I gotta get my next batch started here on my laser. Quartet. Oh wow, you guys can like see my camera. You can see the screen. That's so fun. Little behind the scenes content. We're getting to the point where I'm gonna maybe start remembering a little bit more what's coming next without having to follow the pattern so closely. Nice. So how did you learn to do all of the laser stuff? A lot of YouTube videos. And just like research on the internet and trial and error. Okay. Did I chain 2? Okay, so I need 1 more. Okay, so congratulations to us. We used up that little small cake entirely. And now we're on to this one. And I would love to use up the rest of this cake for the rest of this project. We shall see if that ends up happening or not. Aw, thank you. I really enjoy it, you know? When I first started, I was just looking for something I could do that seemed like a gap in like the crochet market. I had a lot of friends who were doing like making felt eyes, making crochet hooks, and I wanted to offer something in the crochet space that I thought would be appreciated, needed, valued by crocheters. And I felt like some of those other spaces, like I didn't need to throw my hat into that ring of doing some of those other things. And I didn't really see a whole lot. I mean, there are lots of people that offer engraved tags, but I didn't see a whole lot who were like really active on social media, especially as crocheters themselves. And there wasn't really anybody in like my little corner of the crochet internet world that I knew that was really doing that. And so I just kind of jumped into it, and I'm really glad that I did because I actually really enjoy it. Just ran to my mailbox to get my first skein of hand-dyed sock yarn, and OMG, it's gorgeous. Ooh, what color or colors is it? Shannon, I'm guessing you're asking Rhea and not me, right? Because my yarn is just boring beige. You know what? I figured, Shannon, because this is not a very exciting color. And that's fine. We love her for what she is providing to us. Don't know why I added a size. That's all good. How long have you been running your own business? Did you have a moment where you had to choose between a corporate job and working for yourself? Not exactly. So I started out wanting to make crochet, like finished crochet pieces. That was going to be my business, was selling crochet pieces. And I started that in 2021 or 2022. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm struggling to remember now. And I think it was 2023 that I started actually doing the laser engraving part of it, which is when the actual business really started growing. Because what happened with the crochet is I was going to make finished crochet pieces and sell them, and I was going to use TikTok as my main like social media platform to grow my business. And then TikTok basically went, "Oh, you're a crocheter. Well, here's a bunch of other crocheters," which was fantastic for building community, but not fantastic for building a customer base. Because all the people that were seeing my stuff could already make the stuff that I was offering. So that's when I kind of decided I had to make a pivot if I was going to have this be an actual business. And that's when I started doing the laser engraving and stuff. And I didn't necessarily have to do the like choosing a corporate job over my own business type of thing. First of all, I'm very blessed. I'm very privileged because my husband has a job that is enough that like we're certainly not rich. But the only reason I could afford to like try doing my own thing is because we already had his income to sort of sustain while I was growing something on the side. I was in full-time ministry for 6-7 years. 6-7. I was a youth pastor for several years, and I am still on staff at our church, but it's basically a volunteer position at this point. So I had stepped out of that role as youth pastor just because I felt like God was kind of leading me out of that, and my passions were kind of shifting a little bit. And so when I left that position, I kind of had this moment of like, I really would love to build something of my own. So it kind of came as a result of that, but it wasn't like I'm leaving my job specifically to do this thing. It kind of was just like, well, I'm going to try and do this thing because I already left this other job. And, and, being in ministry, let's just say you don't do it for the money. So I already wasn't like this big contributor financially to our household because my job didn't pay very much. It was a full-time job, but it was not a full-time income. So I already like didn't have this like massive income I had to replace like I maybe would have if I had left like a corporate job. If that makes sense. I think that's the right thing, yeah? Yeah. I actually really like how this is working up. I don't know if you guys can quite get... Yeah, I think you can see the texture if I hold it up a little bit better. It's almost like the little triangle portion is almost like a three-dimensional, the way that those long double crochets kind of like push it forward. I like that. I like it a lot. It's going to mostly be covered up by hats, but it looks really nice. I did get Megs out of it, that's true. I just posted a couple pics in the community tab of how deep our snow is. Oh, okay, great. I am excited to see that. Really pretty blue with white and black speckled sections. It screamed Minnesota to me. That sounds really pretty. I love that you crochet to showcase your tags. You know, and that's the thing, is like the social media side of things like gives me the excuse to crochet a whole bunch. Because if I was just focusing on the engraving side, I wouldn't have a reason to crochet all the time, other than just like for fun. But I really love that I get to do the engraving and I get to do the social media side of like, you know, YouTube and content creation, and they kind of feed into each other, you know? And I really like that it kind of has all worked out that way, because it's I have like the product-based side of my business, which is the engraving and my subscription boxes and the custom stuff. And then I have the content side of my business, which is mainly now my YouTube channel. And like I said, they kind of feed into each other. And that's like best case scenario for me, because I get to be creative in both of those things, and they're very different, but they complement each other really well. Yeah, you can really tell the difference when you hold it up close, Amy. Oh, you guys, guess what tomorrow morning is? I'm happy because we're getting it done, but I feel bad because it's always a little bit of a bummer. Miss Murdoch has her appointment tomorrow. I gotta take her in early tomorrow morning and drop her off at the clinic. She has her spay appointment. And then we pick her up the next morning. And they're also gonna do microchip while she's there. So we're getting both things done at the same time. Poor girly. So excited for you that your subscription boxes far exceeded what you were hoping when you started them. Yeah, truly. I was not expecting them to grow as quickly as they did, and I still have a lot of goals for the future and how I'd like to continue to see them grow, but I am I really love making them, and I really love you know, choosing the theme and coming up with what to put inside of them. And I will say, now that we're, you know, a year in, I'm starting to feel the pressure of like trying to come up with really creative things to put inside the boxes and not wanting to like repeat myself or have one box be like boring over the other ones. So I'm trying to keep it fun and creative and not let it become this thing where I'm like, I have to, every box has to one up the previous, and like there's the temptation to go there, but I'm gonna try my best not to. Just keep it fun. Miss Murdoch is so cute. She has not come up here to make an appearance yet. I wonder if she will. How do they mark black cats when they are already spayed? My cats have always had white bellies. They have white skin as well. So it just, like, actually, Michael just was petting Duncan. She was laying on her back the other day, and he was like, what is this? And I was like, that's her incision. So the fur, like, her hair never grew back fully where the incision is, and you can still see it. Like, you can still see the little blue mark. So their skin is still, like, whitish. And then, at least for Duncan, and I'm guessing it's this way with all cats, the hair just, like, never really grew back there. So it's pretty easy to spot. There's definitely lots of love and care that goes into this. I am so pleased with how, like, nice and even. You know what? I'm gonna jump ahead in the pattern real quick because I'm interested to know if there is a border at all planned. Because if there isn't, I'm probably gonna add one, because it's not like it's uneven, but you know, it would look a lot more finished if we had one. But there may already be one planned. Let's see. So this is how to attach it to the wooden dowel at the top when you're done. And that's the straps. Okay, so there's no border planned on this, but I think I will add one to give it a nice finished looking edge. But we're not there yet. Oh, like the microchip says whether they've been fixed or not. I wonder if ours say that too. I wouldn't be surprised. We have, when Duncan was fixed, we could not get her to stay in one of the collars. Like, she just was a little Houdini cat and kept escaping out of it somehow. And the only thing that we found she would stay put in and wouldn't bother her incision was one of those little surgery recovery suits. It's like a little onesie for a cat. And so we've saved, because it was like a 3-pack that we had bought on Amazon. And we've saved one of them this whole time for, like, any future potential cats. And I knew that we had it, so I was like, okay, we're good, we have that. And then today I was like, you know what, let's just try it on her to make sure that it actually fits her, because she's a little bit bigger than Duncan was when she got fixed. We were we've been trying to get her in, but this clinic that we're taking her to, it's like an affordable spay-neuter clinic, so they get booked up so fast. And you literally just have to keep calling week after week until you make the cut, basically. So we had been calling for like 6 weeks and finally got her in. So she's bigger than when I originally like wanted to have her. Truthfully, she could have been fixed over like the holiday season. The timing would have been right, but there was just obviously so much going on. And then we were on a cruise, and I was like, I don't want to get into all this until all this crazy stuff is over with. So anyway, we tried the little suit on her today, and it's too small. I'm glad we did, because Michael ordered the like next larger size, and it's supposed to get here tomorrow. And then I drop her off tomorrow. We pick her up the next day. So we should have it in time for her. Hopefully she'll just be like loopy on pain meds and she won't worry about it a whole lot in general, but we'll see. Okay, so let's see. I want to try and do the math here without looking at the pattern and see if I can figure out what I'm supposed to do next. So I should chain 3. And work into this one. Yes. All right. I'm in it. I got it now, guys. I got it. I need to make sure I lay out all the stuff for her tonight as well. I got to get our little cat carrier out. I have to bring her rabies vaccine certificate with us to prove that she has had her rabies vaccine. And I have to take her in. I think I have to be there at 7:30. And it's not terribly far away, but it is a little bit of a drive. And I wish that Michael could come with me, but it's just going to be me. She hasn't been in the car for a while. And the last few times she's had to be in the car to go to the vet, our vet is like literally a 2-minute drive. They're basically in our neighborhood. So I hope she's going to do okay in the car, because it's, like I said, it's been a while since she's been in the car at all. And even then, it's like for 2 minutes. And this is not terribly far away, but it's definitely farther than 2 minutes. All right, see you later, Shannon. Thanks for hanging out. Will she go into the carrier? Yeah, I don't think she's going to be bothered by the carrier too much. We'll leave it out sometimes and she'll go and sleep in it. So she doesn't necessarily associate it with like we're going in the car. Ooh. Sorry. Excuse me. This pattern is fun. I like it. Hi, Mary Jo. Thank you. How are you today? We went live at 6:30, so about an hour and a half. And that is going to be the standard time going forward until further notice, friends. So Mondays at 6:30 Eastern is going to be our target for going live. I am doing good. We're working on a new project tonight. We just started this in the live. And this is going to be a hanging hat organizer for Michael for all his baseball hats. That's all right. Ooh, what were you making? My dinner was a pretty quick and boring one tonight. There's a lot going on this week, though. I got a lot of need to get done, so we were trying to keep our meals pretty quick and simple this week. So, for dinner, I made sweet and sour meatballs with rice. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a little early. It's midnight here in the UK and I still need to do dinner. Ruh-roh. Dinners this week for us. I've got the sweet and sour meatballs and rice, like I said. I made that tonight. And then what else did I... Oh, we had bought some Hawaiian rolls for something, and they didn't end up getting used. So I was going to make cheeseburger sliders with them. I just took out some ground beef out of the freezer today, and it's thawing, so I'm going to make that. Well, I was going to make it tomorrow night, but then I forgot that we actually are going out to dinner with a couple of our friends. So I guess I'll make it Wednesday. And then I'm going to make a wonton soup. I have a bag of frozen mini wontons. And I bought some, it's like a soy ginger broth. So I'm going to make a wonton soup with all that. And then I'm going to do a crispy chicken pasta for lunch. We're trying to clean out, trying to use up stuff in the freezer. So I have frozen chicken strips that I'm going to make in the air fryer with some pasta. And I have a jar of pasta sauce that's open that I've only used some of that I need to finish off. So we'll do that. And then I also have some Trader Joe's fish nuggets, basically fish sticks, but nugget shaped. And I made those for lunch today. We'll have those for lunch again sometime this week as well. So in case you guys were wondering, every meal I'm having this week. Now you know. You guys are making all kinds of fun stuff too. Mm-hmm. 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 Big fan of leftovers. You know, I wish I was a bigger fan of leftovers. I can handle eating something twice, but usually after that, and Michael and I are the same way. I'm really jealous of people who can just make a big, meal prep amount of one thing and then just eat that thing every night for dinner for the week. I wish I could do that, but after 2 times I get the ick and I can't do it anymore. Homemade spaghetti sauce last night. Ooh, yum. I love a homemade spaghetti sauce. All toasted crispy in the frying pan. Fancy. I'm trying to remember what I even said, Mary Jo. I don't think you missed too much. I'm just talking about different foods that we're planning to eat this week. One, two, three. Okay. I'm definitely getting the hang of this pattern here. And I'm gonna have to get my next batch of tags set up here in a second. Let me do that real quick. Okay. So we chained 3 and then work here. Okay. Good deal. There you go. That's smart. Hey, you know what? And the most important thing is just figuring out what works for you, right? I feel like we've figured out a pretty good rhythm of what works for us in terms of like when to make new stuff and when to eat leftovers and everything. Okay, let's get the laser going again. Oh, goodness. I should frame this one to make sure I actually do have enough room for this. Not really enough room to do that. Dang. I think I might just stop here tonight for the laser because I would have to pull the whole sheet off and my hands are going to get all icky and then I have to wash my hands and it's a whole thing. We're just going to let that be where we stop on the laser for tonight. And I will pick up first thing tomorrow morning. Do, do, do. Blossom cakes, I believe, is one of the cakes I have not tried yet. But I love Cairn cakes, and I'm sure that I would like the Blossom ones as well. Sorry, I have hair in my face. I feel like I'm slowly working my way around, like, trying all the different cakes. But I'm pretty sure Blossom Cakes is one that I have not gotten to use yet. Also, yes, Mary Jo, that does make sense. And it's always great when you can kind of repurpose leftovers and make something different with it. I actually saw a recipe the other day that I am interested to try. Have you guys ever seen the YouTube channel? Oh, what is it called? I think it's called Tasting History. And I don't remember the name of the guy who hosts it. But basically he'll do like these videos about either the origins of a certain recipe or really old recipes from like medieval time cookbooks and stuff, and he'll recreate them in his kitchen and also talk about like the history of the recipe and all. It's a really, really interesting channel. And he just did a video the other day. Well, I actually don't know when he posted it, but it just popped up on my feed and I watched it the other day, and it was about Chef Boyardee and his original spaghetti dinner recipe, which was not a canned pasta, but he, you know, his like original recipe that he sold in his restaurant. And he made the recipe and it actually sounds really good, and I really want to try it. This is looking so pretty. Love the Blossom Cakes. Made 3 cardigans with it for Christmas gifts. Need to get more soon. My arm is doing something funky. We're going to stretch a little bit. Oh my goodness. Okay. I do feel so. We've got about 15 minutes left for the live this evening. I feel like we've made great progress on this for having just started it in this live. So this is basically just shy of 2 hours of progress right here. And that's also with like learning the pattern and getting familiar with it. Now that I don't have to refer to the pattern and I've pretty much got it, it will go faster, I'm sure. And we're gonna build like quite a bit of length on this because, like I said, I want it to hold several hats. So I do imagine that I will be working at this for a bit to get the length where I want it. But I think it'll build pretty quickly. It's like a very Food Network-esque channel, Mary Jo. If you search Tasting History, I'm sure it'll come up on YouTube. So I'm pretty sure the name of the channel is just Tasting History with, and then his name, and I just can't remember his name. But Tasting History should bring it up. Like Michael and I just watched one of his episodes the other night on the history of deviled eggs. It's just like, it's funny, but it's like fascinating stuff, you know? Because you don't necessarily really think of it. Like, where did the recipe for deviled eggs come from? How long has it been around? And how has it changed over the years? It is definitely a cool channel. Yeah, for sure. I just love learning. I really love learning, and I really love like the history of things. So it's a very interesting channel for that sort of thing. And you get a little like recipe cooking situation in there as well. And it's cool, like as he makes the recipe, he'll talk, like do little segments in between, kind of sharing the history part of it. And then at the end of it, he'll basically do like a taste test and a review of the recipe and tell you like, should you make this at home? Is it good? Is it not good? What adjustments should you make? So I really enjoy it. I need to share that channel with my dad now that I'm thinking about it. My dad loves to cook, and he's been super into YouTube lately. And I just feel like he would really enjoy watching that channel. Man, it is wild that the wind is still going. It feels like it's been forever that we've had this crazy wind, and it just will not chill out. I thought I maybe heard a little kitten. But 'twas not. They must be like passed out downstairs with Michael, because usually at least one of them has come up here to make themselves known by this point. Do you have a favorite thing to bake, Mary Jo? In fact, let's open that question to everyone. Do you enjoy baking? And if so, what's your like go-to thing if you're going to bake something? I've been having a hankering lately for peanut butter cookies. I almost stopped what I was doing and made some peanut butter cookies the other day, but I had too much to do. I could not justify the time it would have taken. But I have a feeling I'll probably end up making some soon, because usually once I start craving like homemade peanut butter cookies, that craving does not last that long before I give in. In fact, I have a friend coming over tomorrow to hang out for a little bit in the afternoon, and I happen to know that she also loves peanut butter cookies, so maybe we'll make some when she's here tomorrow. I've been learning how to make sourdough bread. Hey, I feel like sourdough bread is the final boss of baking. So, good for you. Terry's chocolate orange cake. Oh, that sounds delightful. My chocolate cake. Yum. Not a baker, but I love making the Ritz cracker tag-along dupes around Christmas. And my in-laws love them. Don't you just like feel like the best when you have a recipe that either your family or your friends are like, oh my gosh, you have to make it. And you're like, sure, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. It's like, it's great to be wanted. Chocolate cake with marshmallow icing. Fancy. Just woke up my sourdough starter yesterday. Sourdough is just like so fascinating to me. I don't know that I necessarily have a go-to baking thing, but I will say I made these cinnamon rolls for Michael's birthday last year. And they were incredible. They were carrot cake cinnamon rolls. So like the actual pastry part had like the shredded carrot and the like spices in the dough, And then the filling had the cinnamon sugared stuff, but it also had shredded carrots and chopped walnuts. And then it was a cream cheese frosting on top with more chopped walnuts. And they were so good. I think I'm going to have to make those again sometime soon. Using a normal chocolate cake and you add a ton of Valencian orange extract. Ooh, fancy. Oh, we love a knitting machine. Well, guys, we're going to be wrapping up the live in just a minute here. I'll probably just go ahead and finish this row here. Man, it has been a long day for me, and I am excited to be done with work and go watch a show with my husband as soon as he's done with work, which is in a half hour. But I think I'll probably just go downstairs and hang out on the couch and wait for him to be done, because he's already down there, and I'll just kind of sit quietly and crochet and just wait for him to be done with work. Oh man. Hey, thanks for hanging out. By the way, if you came in later and you didn't see, this is what we're actually making. We're making this hanging hat organizer. So obviously we're making like the back part of it. And if you didn't see the up close, the texture of it is actually really cool. I feel like you don't quite see it when it's just laying down here. When you hold it up close, you can see how it's kind of got this like three-dimensional element to it. Just a very subtle thing going on. And I really like it. It's very nice and neat. And essentially we have a square. And that was like 2 hours of work. I'm very happy with that. And we were learning the pattern. So the next 2 hours, I assume I could get more than this done, because now I've got it. I've got the row repeats down in my brain. I'll keep you guys updated on this. We may still be working on this the next time we're live next week, or hey, maybe we'll already be moving on to the next project. I've been kind of like blazing through them lately, which is great, because there's so many projects that I want to make, and this stuff is all from a while ago that I decided I wanted to make these things, and I'm finally getting like through the last of these items. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated on where we end up with this project. But for now, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Next week, same time, 6:30 Eastern, we will be live once again. And who knows what we'll be working on in a week. But have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you next time, guys. Good night. Goodbye.